bought this Supercharger on Amazon for $300 because my $300 Miata drift car needs more power. Last video, we mounted it to the engine and took it for a test drive to make sure it wouldn't overheat and explode. Today, we plumb everything up and take it to the dyno to see if it makes any more power. That's mind-blowing.
We want this thing to run, so we are gonna do it right. We've got an intercooler, we've got bigger injectors, we got a bigger fuel pump.
First step, we have to get the car running on the standalone with a base tune, no power upgrades.
Have you ever successfully tuned a car, Dylan?
I have not, no.
Then what could go wrong?
We're gonna watch some YouTube videos and figure it out and get this thing running right now.
I'm gonna stick to what I know, mechanical things. Remove this fuel rail. These are just stock, regular, wimpy boys. Dylan gave me these, claims that they're big boys. In theory, these should work great. They're gonna provide a lot more fuel to our motor, which hopefully we're providing a lot more air to our motor, and that should create power. We'll see.
The SC14 Supercharger was used in the Toyota Previa in the 90s, and in that it increased the horsepower from like 120 to 150. So if we can get 30 extra horsepower out of this thing, it's gonna be insane.
Stands for Super China 14. It's just loosely based on the original.
It's like the fake Rolexes you get in China. It's a great knockoff. Those are still actually pretty expensive.
Yeah, and they work exactly the same, and there's no difference in the quality whatsoever.
What a graceful procedure it is to get into that thing.
After way too many hours screwing with sensors and gauges and injectors and fuel pump, we are finally ready to really screw stuff up with the laptop.
This part makes me nervous, if I'm being completely honest.
We're not the first people to ever tune a Miata. We may be the first people to ever try and tune a Amazon supercharged Miata.
Should we start calling you Jesse from Fast and the Furious?
When this is a 10-second car, yeah, you can call me that. I watched a bunch of YouTube videos and took a bunch of notes. None of the videos I watched matched the current version of Tuner Studio, so I have no idea what I'm doing. We're just gonna try the car and see what happens.
As Elsa would say, into the unknown, let's go, dude.
I don't have a lot of faith, to be honest.
Guess who forgot to plug in the fuel pump?
No way! Okay, here goes take two.
Yep, stop.
So this injector is just spewing fuel. So let's see if we can get it to not do that.
New O-rings for all the injectors. Hopefully that solves our fuel leak issue. And good news, now we know the fuel pump is priming, so I honestly think it'll fire up right now. Here we go, take three. What is that horrible noise?
All of our belts got covered in gas.
Ah, that'll do it. Now that we know we have a perfectly running car, we need to turn it into not that.
It's just what we do here at the Rad Factory. We take things that run well and we make them run interesting.
We upgrade them.
Yeah, we upgrade them. It's a weird supercharger that's not designed for this space, and I think it'll work anyways. As you can see, the next step, we have to figure out our inlet and our outlet, because right now, nothing is pointed in the right direction.
Unlike last time, we're running everything through an intercooler, so just in case the plastic rotors explode, this should filter everything out before it hits the motor. It'll also cool the air down and make us more power, but that's a secondary purpose.
So, we're gonna have to figure out how to route our outlet to our intercooler down there without interfering with all these belts and mechanisms. That's gonna suck. Where can I run that? How can I do this? Our belts are in the way, so we're gonna have to go up and over those guys if we're gonna make any of this piping work.
As we say at the Rad Factory, measure 0 times, cut all the times.
Is that going to clear our belt?
Would you know, it sure won't.
I just don't even know.
We're gonna try it facing backwards and see if there's anything that makes sense.
Wow, that is touching the exhaust, so that's helpful.
It's a heat shield, it should be alright.
For now, we're gonna have it come out, up, down. I'm gonna hole saw through the front of the car there.
Not my beautiful Miata body.
Maybe not the most elegant solution, but it is a solution, and that's all we need.
I will take this exact moment to point out that we have a perfectly good Miata Supercharger on the shelf right here. It would be very easy to mount up, but you guys wouldn't watch that video, so here we are.
So for any of you who are like, hating on this, it's exclusively your fault because you watched it.
We do appreciate everybody watching and commenting, though. You guys are blowing up our channels so fast and couldn't be more happy. Let's make some power, baby. The pop-up. This is coming back, right?
Yeah. This just has to move so I can cut a giant hole in the car. In theory, this will just miss the frame, and that'll come right through there.
Right into the intercooler.
No turning back now, Dylan.
For science, we gotta do it.
Got to love a hole saw. God, this is terrifying. Well, no fluid leaked out, so that's a good sign.
So now all we have to do is here to here. Does Mika approve of the supercharger? Very critical piece of the puzzle. Will the pop-up still fit?
Oh, it's so close. Boom.
We got it. It's still a Miata. Woo! This car is looking so crazy. If you guys want to see it in person, we're going to be at Slush Motorsports Festival on May 25th down at PBIR Racetrack in Colorado Springs. Come say hi. We'll be giving rides in the car. We'll have awesome merch. We have this awesome booth. Will be super easy to find. Can't wait to see you guys there. Now we're starting on the cold side of our intercooler. We're just going to run it the exact same way. Probably cut the exact same hole where the light is.
Go in your home.
We are going to be running a blow-off valve. We're thinking right down here, right after the intercooler. Hey, that's a solid connection.
Dude, some would say that's a love connection right there.
Oh,
yeah.
dude, nice work.
Every now and again I get it right, or as right as it needs to be for our purposes.
So Gavin doesn't seem to approve of my bungee cord intercooler mount, so I guess we have to actually build something out of metal.
Hey, you brought me on for a reason.
I mean, it's a give and a take relationship here. I come up with the stupid ideas and you make them better. So we need as much space between the radiator and intercooler as possible. I'll be honest, you guys, this was a $100 intercooler from Amazon and I do not recommend it. It is not good quality. It's made of steel. It's essentially just cheap Chinese junk.
It might be a poor intercooler, but it's a great filter.
If the Teflon coating does explode off the rotors of our supercharger, hopefully this will protect it. We got our intercooler mounted up. We just created some tabs with some angle iron, welded that to the frame, bolted it together, and it looks great. We're pretty dang close to firing this thing up. You guys definitely don't want to miss the first drive of this thing. We're gonna see if it builds any boost. I'm so excited.
Excitement and nervous often are confused as the same emotion.
I wasn't nervous until you said that, but I think it's gonna work. I really have a good feeling about this one.
And that's technically all that's needed, is one of us to be feeling good about it.
This is, it's ridiculous. A cool hack that a lot of you guys may not know about, when you chop these aluminum intercooler pipes to your custom length, you can put a bead on it with these super cheap Harbor Freight wire crimpers. So you just kind of go around the whole outside until it looks something like this. That way you can clamp on it and it won't just blow off the second you hit boost.
I didn't know about that. That's actually a pretty sick little spot. This side is looking pretty fresh. Now we just have to bolt on this side.
We got a blow-off valve going in right after the intercooler. If we did everything right, it should just go right together, but it doesn't look like we did everything right. I thought wrong, whatever it was.
Just leave the fabbing to me, Dylan. Second try is exactly what the doctor ordered. Everything's mocked up, ready to be disassembled. We'll crimp all the edges of the pipe, just like Dylan said. We'll get our pipe clamps on, and then it's time to turn it on.
Woo, bud. Oh boy, it's finally here. We'll at least get to fire it up and hear that wonderful supercharger whine you guys all love.
I'll be honest, it's gone back to like being very nervous. This is a lot of work we've put into this, but hopefully it runs.
Boys, we've done it. We have a hooked up supercharger. Probably the first ever in the world, Miata with an Amazon supercharger. Time to fire it up and see what happens.
Dude, we have a supercharged drift car for under $800. This is insane. Hopefully it doesn't immediately grenade. Here goes nothing. Fingers crossed.
It looks freaking cool though, you guys. Hopefully it lasts long enough for some of you to come see it in person at Slush, but we're delaying the inevitable. Time to fire it up. Here we go.
The sounds crazy, dude. Oh my god. This thing sounds nuts.
We've started the auto too.
Dude, I'm nervous.
Yeah, this is the spot.
Visual inspection, nothing's hot right there. Oh, this is nice and warm. But nothing seems busted. Our belt's still on. Everything seems to be in working order. This sounds freaking great.
I can't tell if there's any more power yet, but hey, the noises are wild. Oh my god! Oh my god! There's more power. There's definitely more power. We did it! 4 PSI is not nothing. I mean, when we're talking 100 horsepower, if that gets us to 120, it's a 20% increase. Like, we're gonna feel that.
It sounds sick as hell either way, so you can't complain. And it hasn't exploded. We've done a whole lap around the neighborhood. Dylan gave it the beans a couple times. This might actually freaking work. We had one little boost leak, so we tightened down some of our hose clamps. I'm nervous. I never like being the second person to touch the car.
It's crazy. That's the craziest sounding car I've ever heard in my life. Not over exaggerating at all.
It's genuinely faster. Like, I can tell. Oh my gosh. I thought this was gonna blow up immediately, but it is so good. I'm like crying from laughter. This is the funniest thing we've ever done.
I don't know if it's coming through on camera or not, but it is the craziest sounding vehicle of all time. Guaranteed. There is nothing like it anywhere. This is wild. And it actually works and didn't blow up in the first 5 minutes. All around win, dude.
Oh my god. You should have seen this kid's face. He heard it and thought it was going to be like a Ferrari. And then he turned around and it was just me falling apart laughing in this trash bag.
We got a decibel meter?
We got a decibel meter, baby. Hello, hello.
Wow, you can
Yeah.
yell at like 113. Where's it going to be the loudest? At the front or the back? It's all loud, you guys. It's crazy. It's so crazy. My ear, I was just doing this because it's like a Stradman thing that he does, but actually my ear hurts now. I should have been covering it the whole time.
It's like being chased by a tiger. This car feels unsafe. Everything about it.
You guys, none of you called this. I bet not a single one of you thought this was going to work, and it did. 4 PSI, that speaks for itself. It is more than 0, so it is definitely faster. It's the wildest sounding feeling car ever. Now let's go hit the dyno.
This is a Miata, correct?
Yeah.
It's what's left of one.
So $300, huh?
Yeah, that's the experiment. We tried the $100 one from Temu, and it blew up immediately. And then so we spent $300 and got this one.
It's hard to imagine they can even sell one for that price.
Right. Yeah, so we have it disconnected right now to just do a base run, see what it does without it, and then we'll hook it up real quick. It made 3.5 pounds on the street yesterday, so.
Yeah, wow. Jesus.
How many ponies do you think have been lost since the original manufacturing date?
All right, my guess for stock is 87. I'm going with 87, and then for Supercharger, I'm gonna go 120. It's only 200,000 miles.
Yeah, it's only 200K. I'm gonna say 78 for stock, and then we'll add 18 horsepower to that.
So
I'm not doing math. You can't make
so you're still under 100 overall.
Yeah.
We better be over that.
I don't know that I've ever seen one make less than 100 in stock.
Oh boy, that's exciting news. I mean, we could be pushing 120, 130 with the Supercharger. This is going to be an exciting day.
As with this whole project, I'll happily be wrong.
The moment we have all been waiting for is finally here. More than 6 months after the Temu Supercharger blew up, we're finally at the dyno to see how much power these cheap Chinese Superchargers can make. My heart is pounding. I'm nervous. I don't want it to blow up. This is a big deal for just anybody that likes cheap car mods in general. If this actually makes any decent power, they're going to sell a lot of these.
Why would you be worried that it could blow up? He said while signing the waiver.
What did we make? 110! What? That is a shock. That's honestly a shock. I can't believe it's over 100. That's awesome.
Is that to the wheels?
Oh yeah.
Dude, this thing's a ripper. Yeah, $110? I would not have bet on that at all. Holy smokes.
Dude, that means that we could be easily over 120, into the 130s, 140s maybe even. This is huge.
I still stand by. I think we're going to be right around 3 pounds of boost. And with 3 pounds of boost, this might actually make some real numbers. Let's find out.
All right, it's time to do it. Hope it doesn't blow up.
If it does, someone else built it.
It's going to do great. I mean, I'm going to revise my guess. Now that we're 110 stock, I'm going to go 133.
I'm going to call it an even 125 there. Final numbers?
Without knowing the boost number, I couldn't even guess.
We're round 3.
If it makes
3.5
pounds of boost,
It was 3.5, like,
I guess we're going to make 150 plus.
What? Oh my God, dude. Oh my God.
150 out of a $300 Supercharger.
I'm totally guessing.
Yeah, all right. But you're the pro. All right, let's do it.
Didn't explode.
Didn't explode. What do we got?
131, but it's got a lot more in it.
131.
But it's
Oh my gosh. That's a 20% increase on the $300 and more in it.
It's richer than the O2 sensor will read. If you could pull some fuel out of it at the top end, this number would go way up. You could get it up to 11 or 12 to 1 air fuel ratio. And these upper RPMs, probably pick up at least 10 or 20 horse.
Just trying to take some fuel out of it and see if we can lean it out, get some more power. Wish I knew what I was doing better.
That thing sounds so crazy every single time. It sounds wild.
137.
137.
Dude, if we can get 140 out of a $300 Supercharger, $100 per 10 horsepower, that's insane.
This is the pull, dude.
This is the pull. We're gonna do it. Dude, 141. I cannot believe we did that. With a $300 Supercharger, we made 30 horsepower. That's mind-blowing. It's insane. And if somebody knew how to tune it, we'd get even more, but I'm happy with that. We didn't blow up. This is an amazing accomplishment. It made 4.8 pounds of boost for 141 horsepower. It's so crazy. Nobody predicted a $300 Supercharger would even last 4 dyno pulls, let alone make that much power.
Well, Dylan, I'm not gonna say it often, but you were right. I was wrong. This was a great idea.
Heck yeah, I'm glad you think so, because I've got another one. Look what I found on the shelf. We're adding it to this motor.
We just got this thing running. I'm not pulling a single thing off of this motor.
Perfect. We're not pulling anything off. We're adding this turbo. We're gonna twin charge this beast.
Dude, that is gonna be an insane amount of work. I'm not doing that unless the audience wants to see it and this gets 5,000 likes.
You heard the man. Make it happen. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time.